pe o ka taha whoki o tumutumu e tau polokalame e whiawhini, oku tau kaumai he poni. Pea mo Swiss, me Auckland, New Zealand. Big Marlo lady, shout out going out to you, brother Swiss. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, good, bro. Good, man.
Good, man. Thanks for staying up so late for us. I know in Auckland you're a couple of hours ahead of us here, but you used to live here in Brisbane, so whapea was yanga pe ko ia he ke he taimi, eh?
Yeah, still early, ducks. I'm usually calling my mum around this time, man, so...
Oh, all good, all good. Now, for all of our listeners, we all know you as Swiss, but I'll give you this opportunity. Introduce yourself to all our viewers, because your mum and dad live in Brisbane, so we're curious, where are you from in the Kingdom of Tonga and who you are. So I'll give you a quick chance to do a big shout out and introduce yourself to all of our listeners tonight, brother.
Hey, malalei ko ingoga Shirley Sunny Pepper Manu, o lele mai me ki kolo ko vai ni. My mother and father both based in Brisbane at the moment. I did all my high school years in Brisbane.
Nice.
So yeah, Brisbane's pretty close to my heart.
Well, that's awesome, bro. Now, we're loving your music, man. Your music's been around a while now, but you keep on dropping these new tracks all the time on YouTube and on Facebook and that. And, you've got so many hard fans all around, not just New Zealand, Tonga, but all around the world, and definitely here in Australia. But maybe some of us don't know, where did your musical journey all start, bro?
Man, to be honest, it all started in Brisbane. Me and my older brother got sent up to a little place called Emerald in North Queensland. Back when I was like 13. We went up there we went in Tolikalepi with some of our cousins from down in Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
So and it just so happened that they were already recording their own sort of stuff and things like that. So I'd always loved music growing up. As we all do, tatuake lotu and things like that, and big things like whakame and stuff would always come around every year, and they were the kind of things that I looked forward to. But yeah, like going back to that story on getting sent to Emerald, some of my cousins were recording their own music, and then for me it was like, oh, so I can do this myself too. Growing up we always think that we have to be in some big studio and all this and whatnot, but I think it was a blessing that my cousins sort of taught me that how to sort of record myself from home. So yeah, I also started writing my own stuff at about 14, was doing the whole YouTube thing to start off with. And it was just eventually it all picked up. I built a quick fan base over the years, and then eventually signed a deal and came here to New Zealand and started doing it professionally. So yeah, man.
That's awesome, bro. Now, obviously, we like listening to your music, but who does Swiss listen to? Who are some of your inspirational artists that you like to listen to when you got your downtime?
Man, it's different. I grew up on a lot of sort of old school R&B stuff, like Boys to Men, Casey and JoJo.
Nice.
More so because of my older brothers. I don't think I was old enough to even be listening to some of those songs, man. But but yeah, eventually I sort of started listening to guys like Chris Brown and whatnot. I think with me, a lot of it is the sort of black music in a sense. But then at the same time, I do like a little bit of this and that, like a bit of jazz every now and then. Michael Bublé, which will be weird for a lot of people as well. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to say there's like a genre in particular that I stick to. You know what I mean? So yeah, I listen to all kinds of music, and I think that's what music is. You get different influences from everywhere, man. So yeah. So I'm gonna turn off this TV behind me. It's like flashing in the thing of it. There we go.
Last time I saw you perform was actually at a wedding here in Brisbane, and your wife was singing as well. So I know that your wife's also a singer, and I saw you two even doing a bit of duetting as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about introduce your wife and her music as well?
Yeah. My wife is she's her artist name is Tree. I actually met her when I first moved here to New Zealand. She's been doing the music thing a lot longer than I have. She's been sort of singing more so behind the scenes, like backing vocalists for certain artists. I think one of her biggest songs before sort of going independent was the Don't Say Goodbye with Sammy J. But yeah, my wife's it's a blessing to be able to do music with your lifetime partner. Not many people get to say that they can do it. There's a lot of pros and cons to it. We have different tastes in sort of music and things like that. But yeah, I think it's a blessing to be able to do it and share this journey with my wife as well.
That's awesome. Now, I know that if we were to focus on something recent where everyone around the world saw you globally, was when you sang the national anthem at one of the Matema Tonga games. I think it was one of the ones in Auckland and all that. And of course, not only that, but time-wise was your brother Pasifika was obviously, in the team as well. You want to tell us a little bit about what that experience was like?
Man, I think it was awesome. I think, I think the biggest thing for me in that whole experience was to be able to stand alongside my brother. He was captaining the Tongan team throughout that World Cup, and for me, it was something that not many people would ever be able to do. You know what I mean? Not many people would be able to say that. They have a sibling who's playing in one of the top teams for our nation, and be out and then to have the opportunity to even sing the national anthem. I think the only other person who was able to do it was Lady Fats, whose brother is Manu Ma'u. But yeah, like I said to you, it doesn't happen too often, man. And to be honest with you, it was more so to be able to do it alongside my brother. It's a big thing for our Tongan people to be able to do things together as a family. And I think that's what it was for me. At the end of the day, it was, that's what it was all about. But I think one of the hardest things about it was actually trying not to stuff up the anthem, because it's such a big job. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. So like I had to try my best not to be as emotional. I think if I turned around and saw him tanging, I probably would have tangy too and get throughout the whole microphone. But hey, like I said, man, it's an experience of a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I'll never be able to do it again. In the day that I go on, it's one of those things that will be up there as a highlight of my career, definitely.
So good, bro. Now, you're always dropping new tracks, but what can we expect to hear from you very soon or in the not too distant future in terms of music coming out online?
Yeah, I think at the moment I don't know what to say in terms of like what to expect. I've sort of come back to sort of loving just making music again. I think when a lot of artists, they sort of get into this game and they don't understand that there's a whole business side to it. But then the business side can take away your love for the music a lot of the time as well, because it becomes all politics and whatnot, and you've got to start creating music for people rather than creating music for yourself. And at the end of the day, it is a business, especially when you go and decide to do music professionally. You know what I mean? So I think that was I sort of got lost in that a bit. You know what I mean? Trying to make music for making hits more than anything. I think now I'm just making music and just throwing it out there. And if anyone loves it, they love it. And if they don't, I'll just keep making music. So I think, I can't say what I'm sort of working towards next. I think, if anything, I'm just going to continue to just keep pushing out music, man.
Bro, we love what you're doing, man, and we're just looking forward to whatever comes out next from over there in the Tasman. I wish you were still here in Australia. It'd be so cool to have you right live physically here in the Brisbane studio, but that's okay. We've got you on Zoom tonight. We're going to play one of your video clips in just a minute, but before we do that, I want to give you the chance just to do a quick shout out to your family, your friends, your lovely missus there, or whoever you want to shout out to while we've got you. You're actually talking to a global community of, especially our Tongan community in the USA, all around the world, Tonga, New Zealand and Australia. So go for it, brother.
Yeah, I want to take this time out. Before I even shout out to anyone else, I got to say happy anniversary to my parents. It was their 37th anniversary yesterday.
Nice.
I got to speak to them for a little bit. They're out at dinner, so I didn't want to distract them from eating their steaks and whatnot. But Mum and Dad, if you guys get to see this, I love you guys with all my heart, man. You guys have been so good to me, and I only pray that one day, my marriage will be somewhat of what you guys have. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, shout out to all our family and friends back there in Brisbane. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in all over the world. I appreciate all the love and support always.
So, Taco, this is me here. Hey, I know that you have a brand that just came out. Are you able to talk a little bit about your brand and how people can buy your t-shirt and hoodies and things like that, just so our Brisbane people can support you in that way?
Yeah, I think it's something that I'd always meant to I've always wanted to do. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing for me is that I wanted to create something that I would wear myself. you know, a lot of other artists, and I've got nothing against it, but a lot of artists sort of put their artist names on a shirt, and people wear it and whatnot. But I didn't even think I could wear a Swiss t-shirt, man, or something with my face on it. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. So I wanted to do something that still links to me. And yes, sir is actually a phrase that I use in a lot of my songs. If anyone who listens closely to all my music, they know what yes, sir is. And it was actually a phrase that just came from when I was performing live. I just started saying it naturally, and it sort of just became something. So I was like, you know, if there's anything that I sort of want to put on a shirt, it's got to be something that still connects back to me. So that's what Yes Sir Clothing is. And I think the whole thing behind it for me is that, you know, like we see a lot of clothing labels out there who sort of make their clothes and follow the trends of what everyone else is doing in terms of their clothes, whereas my clothes is stuff that I would wear. And it's like my mindset with my music at the moment. If anyone loves the clothes that I put out and stuff that I'm wearing, then, you know, feel free to reach out and I can sort that out for you. You know what I mean? But I think that's my whole thing behind it. Is that to be honest, I'm just making clothes that I can wear every day. You know, as artists, we always get clothes and whatnot sent out to us. And you know, we're helping pushing these other brands. But I think it's something that I'm sort of looking to do more now, is sort of looking to sort of building my own different brands and whatever I do. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what Yes Sir Clothing is, man. So make sure you guys check it out. Yes Sir Clothing Co. On Instagram and on Facebook. I think we're already shipping out to New Zealand and Australia at the moment. It's sorting out the US. I still don't know how we're going to do that. I think it was one of those things I sort of jumped into, and I was just like, you know, and then all the support came through, and now I'm like sort of, hey, ata mai. So, you know, but like, I'm sort of coming to grips with it, man. But yeah, like I said, man, shout out to everyone who's been supporting so far. And if you want to check out the clothing, go check it. A lot of the colors in there are all sort of reggae based and whatnot. So yeah, that's what Yes Sir Clothing is.
Awesome. Just as we're about to finish our interview, we're about to play your I think it's your latest song, Tell Me, by you and Lion Rez. Are you able to introduce that song and just talk a little bit about that song, and then we'll play the song and the video so people can support?
Yeah, I think Tell Me was actually the second single from my 2.0 EP that just released. If you guys haven't heard it or think, go check it out. It's on Spotify and Apple Music. But yeah, Tell Me was the second song that I released, and I wanted someone who could sort of pull off that sort of rugger sound. You know what I mean? Like, you hear a lot of my songs, I'd usually do it on my own, but I felt like I wanted a different dynamic in terms of that. And Lion Rez is an upcoming reggae artist. I wouldn't even say upcoming. He's quickly rising. You know what I mean? And sort of established himself now as a heavy hitter here in New Zealand, music-wise. But yeah, I wanted a whole different dynamic. And if you listen to the tone of his voice, it's real Jamaican-like and whatnot. So, you know, I wanted to be able to link with someone like that, and it was a blessing for him to be able to jump on a song with me. We actually met back in like 2013, and I was on tour in Western Australia, and he was opening up for me at those shows. So, yeah, it was a blessing to see someone sort of, you know, work their way up the ranks, and it's a blessing for me to be able to put him on like that too. So that's what Tell Me is, and it talks a little bit about, you know, us as men. You know, we always try to be those, you know, two cool guys and try not to be too romantic. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, as soon as she cracks the whips, we all come running, right?
That's awesome, bro. Hey, look, so great to have you on the program tonight. Everyone, that's Brother Swiss there, all the way from NZ, from Aotearoa, New Zealand, former Brisbane boy himself, and wishing you all the best, bro, with all your future stuff that you're doing. We're looking forward to it, and we're big supporters from over here. Ofa atu to you, and as well to your wife and the rest of the family.
Malo
apito, eh? Ko ia tautai mai moa.
Tell me, baby girl, how you got me feeling like that? When only you that me I want to wrap around your pinky up in love with it. I can call you me girl. Never thought I could get to love with again. Love with every time. Take pride in myself, never falling in love too fast. Till you came along, everything I stood for just went out the window. Now you got me going down my way, just to put a smile on your face, girl. And even though I act too cool at times, you know I'm there at the snap of your fingers. Tell me